Okay, so we're going to start with the essay on international marketing. Nowadays, marketing, okay, that should be a small letter, not a capital letter. Nowadays, marketing is considered as an essential factor for selling products online, offline, and even in countries abroad. Okay, we change that slightly. Nowadays, marketing is considered an essential factor in the selling of products online, offline, and even in countries abroad. You could shorten that and say, and globally. Okay, some people opine that a brand which is trying to make its presence in new markets is not good for the local business, and they feel that they are interfering in their business. A little bit of repetition with the word business there. So let's have a look. Some people opine that a brand which is trying to make its presence... I would actually prefer if you said that a brand which is trying to establish itself in new markets is not good for local business, and they feel... So how can we avoid this repetition? And they feel they're interfering in their business. Okay, so I would probably say some people opine that a brand which is trying to establish itself onto new markets is not good for local businesses, and they feel there is interference. Full stop. You don't really need to repeat business there. However, others have the view that it will spread modern ideas, language, and culture. In my opinion, small letter there, be careful of your capitals, I strongly believe that international marketing promotes globalization by opening new opportunities to future business and opening new ways of economic growth. Okay, that's fine. Yes, you've given a very clear thesis statement there. You've given your clear viewpoint. That's good. Do try to avoid repetition though in some of your sentences. You've got opportunities there. You've got opening and opening twice. So always look for synonyms and ways to avoid repetition. So you could say, and instead of saying opening new ways of economic growth, you could just say and developing economic growth. Okay. On the one hand, international marketing is impacting the local. Again, you should have a small letter here. I don't know why you're using a capital letter. So impacting the local business of small retailers. As there are many small manufacturers in every country which sell products with less of a margin, they are in their very initial stages of developing their brand in the market. As these international brands perform marketing campaigns across different channels of communication, like adverts, avoid abbreviations in IELTS letters, use the full form, so like advertisements in newspapers, a YouTube video with features, and using a digital medium like emails and SMS impact on the smaller players. For example, in India, why have you got capital letters there? I don't understand. So just a capital letter I and then small letters. In India, brands like Capture, you've got brands as a plural, so be careful of subject-verb agreement. So in India, brands like Capture have lost market share as the international brand Peep came into existence. Okay, have lost market share when the international brand Peep came into existence. Okay. Right, that's fine. You've supported your argument, and I understand your argument in that paragraph. But what I would have liked to have seen is a clearer topic sentence. Remember that your first sentence should really explain the main argument, the main idea of your whole paragraph in a succinct and concise manner. It is very concise, but it doesn't fully explain the whole argument. So on the one hand, international marketing is impacting local business. So how is it impacting? Because you can have a positive or a negative impact. So you'd have to say that. So international marketing is having a negative impact on local businesses or small retailers, or is having, it doesn't, you don't have to use the word negative, but you have to clarify what kind of impact in your topic sentence. So then we know how the paragraph is going to develop. Okay. And my other thought on that paragraph is you've ended with an example, which it's good to have an example, but I wouldn't end a whole paragraph on an example. You should comment on that or have a concluding sentence to that paragraph to sum up the main argument of the paragraph. Okay. Right, next paragraph. Moreover, it also affects the employment rate. I don't really understand why you're using capitals here. This may just be a typing thing, so just be careful of that. So it should be a small a. Moreover, it also affects the employment rate as they are more foreign companies. These products are manufactured abroad and exported to different countries. Okay, we have to change that a little bit. Okay, so let's say this. So moreover, it also affects the employment rate as there, T-H-E-R-E, there are more foreign companies that produce, oh no, you could say whose products, not these. There are more foreign companies whose products are manufactured abroad and exported to different countries. Okay, so you just needed to connect those ideas better. Right, local employees don't get the jobs easily as there's less requirement for the work that they are used to do earlier. Okay, you could say local employees don't, get is a very informal verb, so I would avoid the use of get as much as you can. You can use it in some context, but I wouldn't use it here. So local employees don't obtain work easily, or don't obtain jobs easily, as there is less requirement for the skills that they are familiar with. That just sounds a little bit more formal then. Okay. In a recent survey, it's shown that 2% of people get, you've got to use get again here. In a recent survey, it's shown that 2% of people get unemployed when there is a new brand in the sector. Okay, so in a recent survey, it shows, oh no, okay, so it's shown is fine. It's shown that 2% of people become unemployed when there is a new brand in the sector. Okay, so it's just a question of register. So words like get can sound very informal. On the other hand, there are many prominent reasons for my opinion. Okay, that is not an effective topic sentence, okay, because you say for my opinion, you'd have to clarify your opinion, and that also does not explain what you're going to talk about in this paragraph. A topic sentence should make it very clear from the start what you're going to talk about in the whole of the paragraph. Okay, do be careful of that, because I know that when people mark papers, they always look very closely at the thesis statement in the introduction to make sure you have a clear argument, and they also look at the topic sentence to make sure that the paragraph is well structured and that you follow on from that topic sentence. Okay, so this is too vague. There are many prominent reasons for my opinion is far too vague for topic sentence. Okay, firstly, international marketing enhances the relations among nations as it invited other countries to come and do business. Okay, international enhances relations among nations as it, I would use the present, as it invites other countries to come and do business. Then that's a good sentence. This develops a stronger bond between nations. For instance, again, you don't need a capital letter here. Many countries in Asia have a better relationship with Western countries due to the open international market. Okay, that's a good sentence. I think you could have made that into one sentence. I would have said this develops a stronger bonding between nations, comma, for instance, comma, many countries. And that would flow a little bit better. There was no need to separate that into two sentences. Secondly, international is a small I. Secondly, international products have a better quality and most probably unique products that are not common in the local market. Okay, that's fine. So consumers are benefited. Okay, now you'd have to say so consumers benefit from a variety of products. Now, so is fine, but it is quite informal, and this is an IELTS essay, so I would say when you start a new sentence, use words like therefore, or consequently, or thus, or hence. So is better when it's used within the same sentence, when you separate two clauses. So start a new sentence with therefore, or consequently, okay, or as a result. There are lots of alternatives, okay. What you could have done is actually, no, I would start a new sentence there because, yeah, definitely start the new sentence with therefore here. Okay, finally, if the similar products are there in the local market, there is a chance of having a competitive price. Okay, right, that's fine, that paragraph is fine, apart from, as I said, your topic sentence is too vague. You could have clarified and been more specific in your topic sentence. You are talking about the positives of marketing, so you would have to say, on the other hand, there are many benefits to international marketing, and then it's very clear that you're going to talk about those. It's okay to say firstly, secondly, and finally in the paragraph. That's absolutely fine. That's good. But what I would have liked to have seen is then a concluding sentence summarising the main points or the main argument of that particular paragraph. So you could have then said in brief and then a concluding sentence. Okay. Right. To conclude, international marketing should be promoted through the world of economic knowledge, as well, you'd have to say as well as by fostering different cultures worldwide. No, actually, sorry, that doesn't work. Let's just have a look at this sentence again. To conclude, international, again, it should be a small I. International marketing should be promoted through the world of economic knowledge, and it helps to foster relationships between different cultures worldwide. Okay, you need to do that to make that sentence work. Okay, the locals need to be explained by the government bodies that there are more advantages of having international brand to the economy. Okay, I would actually change this around. I would say governments. I would start with governments. Governments need to explain to local people or to local communities the importance of international marketing, and that there are more advantages to having an international brand. Or you could say there are more economic advantages to having an international brand, full stop. So that would make the sentence a bit more concise as well. Use the economic advantages instead of adding it at the end. Okay. All right, fine. Right, what the positives of this essay, you have a consistent argument. You support your argument. You do give one example. You have a recent survey, but that is a little bit vague. I think you should have said where that survey is from. You said in a recent survey it's shown that 2% of people Okay, I would have liked to have seen the source. You know, is that from a university? Is that from an academic publication? And which country? And also a date. Okay, so it's just keep that a little, make that a little bit more specific. The other thing I would say, your paragraphs need need more structuring. For example, you've got a third paragraph. It's very, very short, and you haven't really fully expanded on that. When you start a new paragraph, which I assume you've put more over and you've put a space, then you need to make sure you follow all the structure of that paragraph. A topic sentence, develop the main idea, and then give a concluding sentence. Perhaps what you actually mean is to add that onto your first main paragraph. But it's not clear because of the spacing, so just think about that. Okay, but overall you have answered the question, so well done.